Mike and Denise Williams lived what many called a picture-perfect life. A sprawling ranch near Central Florida, 2 children in school, and weekend duck hunts across the marshes. Mike was a respected insurance agent in town. Denise, warm, practical, beloved. Together they seemed an unbreakable couple. Steady, reliable, secure. Their Sundays began early. Coffee in the kitchen, reading headlines. Then off to their favorite marsh hunting spot by 6 a.m. on crisp November dawns. In November 2018, Mike teased Denise. "I'll be back in an hour or so. Don't let the kids burn the house down." He kissed her before slipping into waders. An hour passed. Then 2. A growing unease settled over Denise. She called his cell, no answer. Frantic, she scanned the edge of the swamp where he always parked the old truck. But the engine was cold. No footprints, no shotgun shell casings, not even wading droplets. Mike had vanished. Search parties, volunteers, and state wildlife officers fanned out across the marsh that afternoon. Hours later, in tall reeds near the far bank, they found the abandoned truck. Its engine still warm, a blood smear on the tailgate, and Mike's shotgun lying intact inside. No driver's door ajar. No medical gear. Nothing but an eerie silence. Theories emerged fast. Mike might have slipped, fallen into the murky water. The local Mary Kay Rodman, a reptile expert, visited and confirmed. Alligators were active in those waters. Large gators capable of attacking a man. In absence of a body, theory leaned on drowning followed by predation. The county coroner pronounced Mike presumed dead in absentia 6 months later. But Denise felt different. No closure. Too many questions. Too few answers. She insisted the blood smear and his empty waders held missing clues. They were never tested. During those months, Denise flared between hope and despair. She cried for the husband she loved, while comforting her frightened children. She posted missing person flyers, launched a Facebook page, and offered rewards for any information. Photographs showed Mike's bright smile gone. But the page remained mostly silent. No sightings. No bones. No whispers. Then came Cal Taylor, Mike's best friend and colleague at the insurance agency. Calm, station porter attitude, empathetic. He dropped by, hugged her, offered condolences and feasibility. He said things like, "You're not alone. If you need help with the office or kids, call me any time." Small kindnesses, desk visits, dinner invitations. All under the banner of just checking in. Months blended. The grief dulled. And when Denise finally told Cal she couldn't handle the ranch on her own, he moved in to help with the paperwork and finances. They shared meals, errands, church events. Mike's children grew fond of him. She leaned on him so much that old neighbors whispered quietly, "He's stepping in for Mike." In March 2020, 17 months after Mike's disappearance, Denise stunned their community. She announced her engagement to Cal Taylor, the same man she thanked publicly for being her rock. The shockwaves hit every corner, especially when she wore Mike's old wedding ring, reset with a stone Cal had gifted her. Crushed family members demanded answers. Mike's mother, Rosa Williams, requested reopening the case. Denise stood by Cal. She insisted she was ready to move forward, stating, "I believe in love. I believe in families rebuilding." But critics accused her of betrayal. A grieving widow turned target of furious gossip. Was Cal just pretending to be supportive? Did he know more than he let on? Denise's grief suddenly felt suspect. Shortly after the engagement, a local kid fishing on the marsh's edge found what appeared to be a human tooth embedded in a gator jawbone. He handed it to authorities. It was tiny, but unmistakable. Dental enamel from a man's tooth. It was sent for analysis. Meanwhile, DNA specialists reopened testing on the blood smear found on Mike's tailgate, something investigators had never fully processed. This time they matched it to Mike Williams. The tooth went to the lab. Its shape didn't match Mike's dental charts, but to deny that he had died at that spot, decades-long efforts would be needed. Instead, it triggered a new investigation. Reopened cold case. Suspicion refocused. Detectives interviewed Cal again. This time, they pressed him on his movements that morning of the disappearance. He had told authorities he was visiting his mother 3 counties away. They verified that timeline, and it held, until a utility bill turned up, showing his home's security camera registered motion at 7 a.m., time Cal hadn't mentioned. Denise was home alone that day. He said he'd stopped by quickly to pick up papers. That lie made investigators dig deeper. They found phone records showing calls between Cal and a receptionist at the clinic where Mike once surveyed insurance checks. Names that overlapped. Strange delays. Cal had been the one to find Mike's truck that morning. He organized the removal, then quietly disposed of Mike's jacket in a trash bin 3 days later. When pressed, he said, "I panicked. I didn't know what happened. I didn't want Denise to worry more." Reopened forensic tests revealed something damning in the DNA analysis. Blood on the shotgun shell casings found in Cal's office safe, matching Mike's blood. When detectives confronted Cal, his face went pale. Under the weight of evidence, he finally broke. Cal admitted that Mike had surprised him with Denise, celebrated their engagement months earlier. Cal had harbored strong feelings, from jealousy to fear he'd lose everything. On that duck hunt morning, he followed Mike into the far swamp, confronted him. Words turned ugly. A struggle ensued on slick roots. Mike fell into the canal. Cal panicked, knowing alligator-filled water would soon silence him. He tried to drag Mike away. Mike grabbed his shotgun. In the scuffle, the gun discharged. He fell again. Realizing Mike was likely dying or dead, Cal placed Mike's body in the truck bed, drove it to the edge of the marsh where he couldn't be seen, and staged the disappearance narrative, making it look like Mike had slipped and been pulled under by gators. He left Mike's shotgun and wiped the tailgate, but overlooked key traces. As the body sank and heat waned, Cal planted misleading details, blood from Mike's jacket he found in the truck, to support accidental drowning. Then he returned home to comfort Denise, stepping heroically into the void. When Denise heard Cal's confession, face drawn, eyes hollow, her whole world shattered. She sank to the floor. She wept. He screamed. She pushed him away. Cal begged for forgiveness. Denied it. In their living room, home of shared happy memories, she told him to leave. Police arrested Cal that night. Charged him with second-degree murder, tampering with evidence, and staging a false accident. Denise pressed charges for the disposal of Mike's personal effects as well. Neighbors watched in shocked silence as Cal was fingerprinted and led away through the yard Mike used to water as a hobby. Denise closed the door and locked it. She held their kids tight, telling them softly, "Their daddy didn't come back, but we will remember him. We will honor him." The trial dragged on 6 months. Public interest soared. Denise testified, voice trembling through every gavel strike. She described a man she thought she knew. She described the husband she loved. She described a betrayal too deep to name. Friends and churchgoers packed the courtroom where Cal sat expressionless. Defense lawyers argued accident and panic. They painted Cal as a man who didn't mean to kill, but who acted like a coward afterward. But the prosecution laid out the chain of forensic evidence. Blood in the truck, the tooth, shell casings, phone logs, the timed call to the utility bill camera. The jury deliberated for less than 5 hours. Cal was found guilty on all counts. Sentenced to 25 years to life, with parole eligibility after 20. Denise annulled the engagement in the aftermath. With help from her parents, she rebuilt their home, their lives, and their grief into something new. She made a personal pact to keep Mike's story alive, and to teach her children what love and betrayal mean. She established a scholarship fund, the Mike Memorial Ducks on Marsh Project, supporting children of missing or murdered men in communities near lakes and rivers. A plaque by the marsh reads, "In memory of Mike Williams, gone too soon, but never forgotten." Denise rarely speaks publicly, But once a year, on that cold November morning, she visits the marsh edge. She places a plastic duck on the tailgate site, kisses the truck, wherever it last stood, and whispers to the reeds, "Your story mattered." Cal Williams, no relation, lives behind bars. Mike is gone. Yet this story remains. A cautionary tale about trust, obsession, and how even the calmest waters can hide a deadly current.